how were you able to identify them as a Mongols group?
The laws of this great nation should be applied equally to everyone.
(2603-004) and Alex Puente, 25 CR 052603-006. So that's fine. We're gonna switch them.
Sure, thank you so much. We are ready.
It's all right.
I just need help hooking up my computer to Jabs. I have a HDMI, that's what we need, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Now, Your Honor, I've never done a trial in your courtroom.
All right.
I have a flash drive with all of my exhibits electronically,
Okay.
which I can, of course, we can enter in. What I've done in the
Your
past.
electronics.
What?
I said you and your electronics. Okay.
If something is not admitted to evidence, we can simply delete it before we turn it in. All right. Oh, and we do have a couple preliminary matters with Mr. Millan on the insurance, registration, and driver's license.
Well, after we just get everybody set up, and then I'll call it and we'll
That's the firmest
discuss
chair.
any preliminary matters.
That's firmest? Okay, because it looks soft. No, it's firmer? Like this would probably be the better one.
Do we need an interpreter in this ourselves?
Oh, no,
for anyone?
no, no.
Okay, we're good.
You guys got a seat, find more chairs.
Assume the police officer speaking. Yes.
Whoever wants to sit here, it doesn't matter.
I actually did a deposition with an officer that we weren't so sure.
Really?
Well, yeah, it was all broken. So, she was able to communicate, but it was like a little difficult sometimes. I couldn't use big words. Yeah. Your Honor, we do have a few matters with the additional counts with Mr. Millan.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right, Chris, are you ready? I don't need to recall.
No, you're good.
All right, so at this time, this is time set for bench trial for Robert Millan, James Aguilar, Patrick Rivera, and Alex Puente. Any preliminary matters that need to be discussed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Regarding the driver's license charge, we have Mr. Millan has agreed to a state adjudication.
Okay.
He will provide proof within 90 days of receiving his driver's license. If he does, the case will be dismissed. If he does not, there will be a fine of $250.
Correct, the charge will be dismissed.
Okay. And this is a stay, so a plea would a stay?
Yes.
Or is this a submittal?
That's right, it's a plea with the same.
Okay. All right, where's Mr. Moore? All right, Mr. Moore, did you hear that, what about for the count 3? Is it not?
Oh, the other one is the driver, or I'm sorry, the registration and insurance is dismissed, proof was provided.
That's
Okay,
right.
all right. So count 3 for Mr. Millan will be dismissed. For count 2 for Mr. Millan, did you hear the terms of the negotiation put on the record by your attorney?
Yes, sir.
You understand it?
Yes,
Do you have any questions? Do you wish to accept the state's offer?
Yes.
It's gonna be stayed. I'm not gonna find you guilty, but, do you wish to accept the state's offer? Are you accepting the offer willingly, freely, and voluntarily?
Yeah, it's the driver's license.
And you understand that pleading to a traffic infraction can have potential immigration consequences, including deportation?
Yeah.
All right, so as to count 2, driving without a valid driver license, how would you like to plead?
No contest.
Parties stipulate to waive defects?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right, I'll accept the no contest plea. I will stay that adjudication. I'm not gonna find you guilty. I'll order you to provide proof of a valid driver license. If proof can be provided, the case will be dismissed. If not, then it'd be adjudication and $250 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how much time?
90 days.
All right, here's your 90 days for that.
It's gonna be January 14th at 8:30.
All right, so now we're only on count 1. Am I correct for all 4?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I always forget to ask, but then I remembered today. Is there any opening statements?
Yes, Your Honor, and we would invoke the
Exclusionary rule?
exclusionary.
All right, so if there's anyone in here today that will or may be called to testify in this trial, if you can please wait in the hallway. Do not discuss any testimonies or the case with anyone. All right, I see 3 people left. There's still 3 people in here. Do the attorneys recognize them as anybody that may be called?
The state does not recognize them.
Okay,
Those are just friends and family.
okay, but they're not gonna be.
They are not going to be.
Okay, all right.
I only have one other thing.
Yes.
I did just want to put the offer that was
Oh.
conveyed to these
Sure.
individuals just on the record.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, Your Honor, as to the 4 individuals, the offer that we would convey or has been conveyed is to plead guilty to an illegal parking. The state would recommend a $250 fine with level 2 traffic school, and that would be the offer.
We've received that offer and they would like to go to trial.
All right, so everyone heard the offer and you discussed it with your attorney? Yes, and you would like to proceed with trial? Yes, I will know everyone
I
saying
didn't
yes.
get anybody saying yes, so.
I will know all 4, people did say yes. All right, opening statements,
Your Honor, the state is gonna waive its opening statement.
okay.
I do have an opening
Sure.
statement. Your Honor, the charge is simple, NRS 484B 653.
Mhm.
It is unlawful to drive a vehicle in willful and wanton disregard of the safety of persons or property on the highway or premises to which the public has access. That's it. There is no provision in the law that says that if a person commits a certain number of minor traffic infractions, that equals reckless driving, and for good reason. There's a mens rea element here. There is a mental state element to where they have to do it willfully or wantonly, to where there's strict liability with any traffic infraction. So the question is, did the defendants ride their motorcycles in a dangerous way? And willfully, or to be convicted, the state has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendants willfully disregarded the safety of another person or property. So that means that my clients would have had to have recognized, they have to prove that they recognized a danger and disregarded that danger in a reckless way. Again, not strict liability. The defendants were not reckless driving. We're going to show you video of turn signals being used, contrary to the officer's testimony. We're going to show surveillance video of the defendants all coming to a complete stop at the red light on Sahara and Jones. They might not have stopped at the exact right place, but they stopped. That's not reckless. You will then see in the video that all defendants safely yielded to oncoming traffic as they turned eastbound on Sahara. That's not reckless. You're going to hear Officer Gower's own voice on the radio calling out how the defendants were traveling in almost exclusively the left lane as they traveled from Sahara and Jones to Sahara and the I-15. Detective Gower repeatedly said that the defendants were still in the number 1 lane. That's not reckless. You will see additional surveillance video showing, on Sahara, showing the defendants traveling at speeds consistent with the flow of traffic. That's not reckless. You're going to hear from a traffic expert that will use LVMPD's own data to show the defendants' speeds from intersection to intersection. We simply take LVMPD's own data, apply math. He will not be applying an opinion. He'll apply math and present his findings. He will testify that the defendants mostly traveled under the speed limit on Sahara, and at one point went about 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. That is not reckless. You're going to see Detective King's body camera video showing that one of the defendants using his turn signal as he merges to the left lane of the I-15 northbound. That's not reckless. The same body camera shows that the I-15 between Sahara and Charleston was a sea of red brake lights. It was congested at 9 p.m. on Friday night in Las Vegas. That shouldn't be a surprise at all. Officer Gower will tell you that these red brake lights were the result of the defendants merging onto the I-15. If that were true, Why was there still a sea of brake lights after the defendants had already merged onto the HOV lane and were gone? The brake lights were the result of the traffic, not the defendants. That's not reckless. So according to the officers, their declaration of arrest and what they're going to testify to, the defendants were driving recklessly from Desert Inn and Jones all the way to North Las Vegas. And in every instance that we have cameras or data from the officers, it shows the defendants were riding safely. The state cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendants were reckless driving, and the defendants will show significant evidence to the contrary. Now, these defendants may not look like the friendliest people. It might make you uncomfortable that they are members of the Mongols Motorcycle Club. I ask that you do not hold that against them. The Nevada Supreme Court in Burgess v. Story County found that membership in motorcycle clubs, just like the Mongols Motorcycle Club, is protected association. They may look scary, but what you are looking at is the First Amendment in practice. All of those tattoos, First Amendment. Even the face tattoos, an expression of the First Amendment. Their association with each other, First Amendment. The Mongols Motorcycle Club is an organization that jointly holds protected beliefs. The belief that as long as you're not hurting anyone else, the government should simply stay out of your life. The government, including police, should have minimal intrusion on people's lives. The laws of this great nation should be applied equally to everyone. These defendants jointly hold the belief that the kinds of enforcement actions that took place against them on June 20th, 2025 should not be allowed to happen. I ask you to concentrate solely on the evidence presented to you. Now, you may ask yourself, why would the officers stretch the truth that we're going to show you today? Well, we have a solid answer. Although the focus of the trial is on reckless driving, what happened to these defendants on June 20th, 2025 was never really about reckless driving. You're not going to hear testimony from traffic cops. You're going to hear from detectives and sergeants in LVMPD intelligence. What happened to the defendants on June 20th, 2025 was about gaining intelligence. The intelligence unit of LVMPD, I guess they didn't have anything better to do because instead of investigating actual crimes in Las Vegas, they decided to target members of the Mongols Motorcycle Club to gain general intelligence about the club. However, they were faced with one very annoying obstacle. On February 2nd, 2021, the Nevada District Court Judge Boulware in the federal courts made a finding against the way that LVMPD was using common traffic infractions to gather intelligence. He found them unconstitutional. The order was so profound that LVMPD entered into a negotiated settlement where they had to change their policies. Also, there was a mandatory training that had to be circulated to all officers every year for 5 years, and that's since 2021. What happened to the defendants on June 20th, 2025 was the Criminal Intelligence Unit of LVMPD needing to get around the orders of the court that they cannot use common traffic infractions to expand the traffic stop for criminal intelligence purposes. If it's a traffic stop for common traffic infractions, or even for multiple violations of common traffic infractions, the case law is clear that police must not deviate from their mission of the stop and cannot extend the stop to investigate things unrelated to the alleged traffic violations. However, if the detectives and sergeants can conjure up reckless driving charges, that's arrestable. They are then able to do their intelligence gathering, whether on-site or in the jail. Now you may say, that's for a future civil case to decide. Well, that's true. However, it's sharply relevant here due to the credibility of the officers involved. The officers were biased. They didn't observe reckless driving and react to it. They set out on June 20th, 2025 with the goal of pulling over the defendants for reckless driving. These officers were not traffic cops, they were detectives that were detecting. These officers were focused on gaining intelligence, not enforcing reckless driving laws. If they couldn't get the defendants for reckless driving, their entire night would have been wasted. So many resources would have gone down the drain. All of those detectives on a mission to get information from the defendants, and all of that would have been a bust. Now, Sergeant Walt, Detective Gower, Detective King, and Detective Ogilvy needed an excuse to pull over the defendants to gain intelligence. So they trumped up charges of reckless driving as an excuse. One more thing before I finish my opening. There is a person that you will hear that Sergeant Walt says was above his pay grade. That after Mr. Millan was told that he was pulled over for simply speeding and flipping people off, and after Detective King made the decision on site to only give him citations and let him go for speeding and for a driver's license, somebody above Sergeant Walt's pay grade told Sergeant Walt to arrest all of them. Now, if that is a certain person, and we're going to ask, then it opens up additional facts that we would present to the court dealing with the truthfulness of this specific person. If it is not, then all of that is irrelevant. So depending on what happens, you might also hear evidence of one of the top cops in the intelligence unit that has a history of pulling over members of the Mongols Motorcycle Club, trumping up charges to where it's proven that what he's been saying is false. We don't know yet. We couldn't find that out, and LVMPD refused to disclose who that person was. And so if that happens, Your Honor will also see that evidence as well. Again, the question before this court is whether on June 20th, 2025, the defendants recognized a danger to another person or property and willfully disregarded that danger. At worst, this case should have been a traffic citation for going 5 miles per hour over the speed limit, like Mr. Millan was going to receive. Okay? These reckless driving charges are ridiculous, and I think we do.
Sweet.
Still called Detective Rodriguez.
Okay.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do.
Please have a seat. For the record, state your first and last name and spelling, please.
Christopher Rodriguez, CHRISTOPHER, Rodriguez, RODRIGUEZ.
Stay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Rodriguez, how are you employed?
I am a detective with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
How long have you been employed by Metro?
7 years.
Are you currently assigned to any particular bureau or division?
Yes,
And what division or bureau are you currently assigned to?
a Central Intelligence Unit.
And what is the role of the Central Intelligence Unit?
To gather intelligence for the area commands and then provide the area commands with actionable intelligence. We're also a support unit for the department.
Were you working in that capacity on June 20th of 2025?
Yes,
Do you recall on that evening what your purpose was in policing?
we were assisting Spring Valley Area Command with a shield operation.
Okay. Can you tell us what a shield operation is?
Normally, the flex unit within the area command and other flex units would go to a certain area within the area command and conduct proactive policing, such as seeing traffic infractions, violent crimes, stuff like that.
Is this something that happens regularly at Metro, these shield operations?
Yes,
And do you specifically focus only in Spring Valley, or do you go to other area commands throughout the valley?
other area commands.
And on this particular night, you were in the Spring Valley Area Command?
Yes,
Okay. I want to draw your attention then to that evening. Were you working with anybody in the same vehicle as you?
no,
Okay. Can you describe generally the vehicle that you were in?
dark gray Chevy Malibu.
That's generally not a common formal police vehicle. Is this a plain vehicle or is it a?
Plain vehicle.
Okay. I want to draw your attention to the area, generally speaking, of the Jones and DI area. Were you working in that particular area that evening?
Yes,
Did anything happen at that time that caught your attention?
I was at the traffic light at Tropicana and Jones.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, what happened at that light?
There was a red light, and next to me was a group of motorcycle riders.
Okay. Do you recall generally how large or how small that group was?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Was it more than, you said more than one rider then, at least you said?
Yeah, more than one.
Do you recall whether or not there was any particular clothing that the individuals that were riding the motorcycles had in common?
They all had vests, black vests on.
At some point, I'm assuming the light turned green.
Yes.
Tell me what happens when the light turns green.
When the light turned green, the group of bikers accelerated northbound on Jones.
At the light itself, when you were stopped, are you stopped next to the motorcycle group, ahead of or behind them?
Next to them, so they were to the left of me.
To the left of you. So you were in, were they in a turn lane or were they in a straight lane?
Lane, or at the red light.
At the red lane, okay. As they accelerated through that intersection, can you describe generally whether or not the intersection itself was busy or slow or?
I don't recall.
As they went northbound on Jones, did you continue on northbound on Jones also?
Yes.
Did you observe anything further that drew your attention to this motorcycle group?
At that time, no.
Okay. What did you do, if anything, with what you were observing?
I broadcasted over the radio.
When you broadcast that over the radio, is this to all of Metro throughout the entire valley, or is it designated smaller area group?
The Plain Talk channel.
The Plain Talk channel? Do you know who else was potentially hearing or gathering this information?
Whoever was on the shield operation.
Okay. Do you recall that evening, generally, how many other vehicles were working with your unit that night?
Like what kind of?
Was it, sorry, undercover plain car vehicle?
My squad.
Your squad?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know about how many vehicles that would have been?
3 to 4.
So when you convey the information that there was a motorcycle group, do you recall specifically what you said on the radio?
There's a group of multiple motorcycle members driving northbound fast on Jones.
When you saw them driving north on Jones, do you know whether or not, and only if you know, please don't guess, that they were exceeding the speed limit on Jones?
Couldn't tell.
And so you broadcasted over that they were a Mongols group, I think is what you said?
Yes.
How were you able to identify them as a Mongols group?
On the back of their jacket, they had Mongols on it.
Okay. Did you continue northbound on Jones with them?
Yes.
At some point, do you either turn off or lose sight of them?
Yes.
Did you turn off or did you lose sight of them? Or something?
I'm sorry. We stopped at there was a red light at Flamingo.
Okay.
They were there, but they were at the red light.
Okay.
As soon as I was pulling up, the light turned green, and then they accelerated, and then there was too much traffic for me to continue to follow, and that's the last time I observed them.
Okay. Do you recall, so at Flamingo there's another stop, and you said previously there was a stop at Tropicana. Do you recall at what point it is that you conveyed the information that there was a Mongols group heading northbound? Like, were you at Flamingo, were you at Tropicana, or somewhere in that travel path when you conveyed that information over the radio?
I don't recall.
Okay. You said though after they went through the Flamingo intersection that you then lost sight of them due to traffic?
Yes.
What you saw and observed, all of that occurred here in Clark County, Nevada?
Yes.
All right, just a few other questions for you. When you are conducting a shield operation in these various area commands throughout our valley, are you specifically looking at specific groups, whether that be Mongols or gangs or Hells Angels or other specific groups?
No.
And then I believe you said that you were part of Central Intelligence?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a separate unit within Metro called Criminal Intelligence?
Yes.
Is Central and Criminal Intelligence, are they the same divisions, or are they separate divisions?
Separate.
And have you personally, well, I'll strike that, Your Honor, I'm gonna pass this.
All right, Cross?
You said earlier there was too much traffic to continue, correct?
Yes.
Why did you just get behind them and follow them?
It was unsafe for me to get around and follow them.
So if they go straight through a light, you're saying it was unsafe for you to change lanes and be in their same lane and just continue following them?
Yes.
How is that unsafe?
How traffic was.
Okay, but you said you were next to them at that was it Flamingo you said, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you said you were next to them at Flamingo. They're stopped at the light, you're stopped at the light, correct?
In the next lane. I was in the next lane.
Okay, so there were 2 lanes over. So which lane were you in and which lane were they in?
I don't know how numbered lanes are, but let's just say they're
Can I-
traffic lanes.
Can I identify lanes? Closest to the center is the number 1 lane and then it counts outwards towards that. Can we agree
So
on
there would
that?
have been traffic lane 1, I would have been in traffic lane 2.
Okay, so you were in lanes next to each other, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when they kept going, how is it unsafe to simply change lanes and go directly behind them? You were in adjacent lanes.
They were accelerating.
Okay. But when they accelerate, that would then leave space for you, correct?
Yes.
Why didn't you just turn into that lane, merge into that lane, and just follow?
I did to Flamingo. I followed them in the lane I was in.
I'm talking about at Flamingo forward.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Do you know a Sergeant Matthew Donaldson?
Yes.
Was he involved in this operation in any way?
Objection on relevance?
I laid the foundation in my opening.
I'm gonna overrule.
Was he involved in this operation in any way?
No.
Okay. And then, did you continue with the Pack and Mongols Motorcycle Club anytime after that, or was your part completed at that point?
At Flamingo, I wasn't able to. The other detectives were the ones that surveilled them.
I'm done, Your Honor.
Any redirect based on that?
Just one question.
Okay.
As they, you said they sped up back Flamingo, they sped up, were they heading northbound? on
Yes.
Jones? Okay. And at the time that they were speeding then up past Flamingo, headed northbound, were they exceeding the speed limit at that time?
I could not tell.
I'll pass the witness.
I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Officer Rodriguez. You're free to leave. Please don't discuss your testimony with anyone.
He can be released. The others not. I'm going to call him in
Oh,
my case. But
I'm
not
sorry. I
that.
guess I shouldn't say you are free to leave.
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
I said I probably shouldn't say you're free to leave just in case I'm not free.
Yeah.
We were chatting about that.
Okay.
Yeah, Your Honor, we were just talking about that, and
Okay.
I have no intention of calling Mr. Rodriguez in my case in chief.
Okay.
So it's okay if he leaves.
And the state calls Detective Gower.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a seat. For the record, state your first and last name with spelling, please.
Tyler Gower, Tyler, Gower.
All right, you may proceed.
Detective Gower, what is your employment?
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
And how long have you been with Metro?
10 years in December.
And on June 20th of this year, what unit were you working within in Metro?
Central Intelligence Unit.
What does Central Intelligence do generally?
We are a support unit for the entire department. We work with various bureaus in support along with the area commands.
So does that often involve being in a specific area in an unmarked car?
Yes.
And why is that?
Unmarked cars, to blend in with everyday traffic, you know, people commit crimes when cops aren't around. So that's my main goal.
So fair to say it prevents people from knowing who you are, so they're more likely to behave in their normal fashion.
Yep, and I also conduct surveillance. That's another main focus of ours.
So can I draw your attention to June 20th of this year? Sorry, that's June 20th. What were you working in the evening of that day?
Yes.
And what was your assignment?
Operation Shield.
Can you tell me what that is?
Operation Shield is a proactive operation where we assist area commands in the valley with saturation of officers.
And which area command were you in that day?
Spring Valley Area Command.
Do you sometimes do these operations in different area commands?
Yes.
And you said saturate, use the word saturate, can you explain that?
Saturation, we pull officers from other area commands to assist us, other bureaus. They all come into the area command to work specifically in that area command, even though they may not work it on a regular basis. They may not be their assignment.
Now, when you're doing one of these shield operations, is there a specific, beyond general policing, is there a specific goal that you were oriented toward on that day?
No, it's any or all laws in violations that we observe.
Was there any specific crimes that you were investigating?
No, nothing specific.
Were there any specific suspects?
No.
Was there any sort of generalized groups of suspects that you were interested in investigating on that day?
No.
Now, around 20-30 hours, so that would be around 8:30 in the evening, did you receive a broadcast from a Detective Rodriguez?
Yes.
And what was that regarding generally?
He observed a group of motorcyclists driving on Jones in a reckless manner.
And you said a group of motorcyclists, was he able to give any more specific of a description?
Yeah, he described them as having fully patched Mongols on the back of their cuts.
And what did you decide to do based on what he said?
I was in the area, so I drove to, I believe, Desert Inn and Jones, knowing that they were traveling that direction.
And what did you find when you got to Desert Inn and Jones?
I observed a group of motorcycles traveling northbound on Jones.
And how many would you say were in this group?
I believe there were 7.
And did you have reason to believe that this was the group that Detective Rodriguez had been broadcasting about?
Yes.
And why is that?
Just based on the patches. That's not common to see.
What was the reason, so what did you do next, let me ask you?
I began following the subjects.
And why is that?
Due to Detective Rodriguez saying that they were driving in an unsafe manner, I began following the subjects to see if there was any other traffic infractions being committed.
And before you received this broadcast from Detective Rodriguez, was there, were the Mongols on your mind?
No,
Did your assignment that night have anything to do with the Mongols?
absolutely not.
What about any other motorcycle group?
No.
So you said that you decided to follow them to see if they were going to commit any traffic violations, is that fair to say?
Yes.
What did you observe?
The group of motorcycles traveling at a faster pace than other vehicles on Jones. No signal of intent when switching from one lane to the next, and running a steady red light at Sahara and Jones going eastbound.
So let me ask you a few questions about that. You said going faster than traffic.
Correct.
Were you able to tell if they were actually speeding?
I'm not able to pace in a unmarked vehicle to its policy, but we were traveling faster than the flow of traffic as in the remainder of traffic on Jones.
So did you also follow them at that increased speed?
Yes,
Now, you mentioned, do you happen to know what the speed limit is?
I don't.
You mentioned failure to signal, or failure,
Signal of intent,
signal of intent. So that's failing to use your blinker, right?
Correct.
And did you see them make some lane changes without using their blinker?
yes.
Can you describe what you saw?
They were traveling in packs of two, so they were lined up, 2 per lane. Motorcycle 1 and motorcycle 2 sharing the same lane. And then they lined back, and then one was in the back. And as they moved as a group, there was no signal of intent
From any of them?
from any of them that I observed.
And so do you feel confident saying that they were moving into different lanes as a group
Yes,
and that they were not signaling as a group?
correct.
In terms of, were there cars around when they were doing this?
Yes,
Were there cars in the lanes that they were moving into?
I couldn't tell you exactly where other vehicles were. I mean, it's Jones, there was other traffic associated with us that day.
So there was traffic on the road.
Yes,
Now, you mentioned the intersection of Jones and Sahara, is that
Yes.
right? What happened there?
it was a steady red light. I was directly behind them. There's a vehicle in front of them that was also trying to turn eastbound on Sahara, had stopped, determined it was safe, and then went. As that vehicle went, the group of motorcycles pulled up as well, did not come to a stop, and continued on to Sahara.
Okay, Your Honor, if I can just have the court's brief indulgence while I get the video. Your Honor, I have here what's been marked as State's Proposed Exhibit 8. And I'll leave the foundation when the detective's allowed to see the video.
Is it the one we gave?
Yeah, the terrible.
Yeah, we'll just stipulate to the admission.
Okay.
We don't need to name.
So the parties are stipulating it's a short video, it's only a minute long, the relevant minute, is that okay?
I stipulate to it. If I need to add to it, we can.
Yeah.
So let's stipulate.
Okay, so the parties stipulate to the admission of Exhibit 8.
All right, it will be a minute.
So we are just going to watch it real quickly, hopefully.
Are you putting it on the Zoom?
That was the
Did
intent.
you share your screen?
Well, I'm just making sure that I get in.
Okay. Oh, no, because I have to share.
No, thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I have 2 more witnesses coming. If someone enters the courtroom with my back, I can't turn around as much.
Okay.
Could you just simply ask them if they're witnesses? Thank you.
So Detective Gower, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Kind of. What are we looking at right here?
I believe that's a gas station in Sahara and Jones.
Okay, so what is the street that's immediately in front of the camera?
That's Jones.
And the street that's on the, I guess, the right side of the screen in front of or behind the chevron, which road is that?
Sahara.
Have you viewed this video before?
Yes.
Is this a video from that night?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna show this video to you and then ask a few questions about it, okay?
Okay.
Just on the video screen, it shows a lag that's not on your laptop.
Is it lagging
It's lagging
for the
very-
court?
Very much.
I don't know, cause I can't compare.
I can just approach real quick.
There is a
Yeah,
lag
can we
because
do
it's a
that?
feed, because it's a feed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's,
I don't mind, we can just watch it.
Do you need the witness slip or this?
I think the witnesses.
should I just stand behind the witness, or what do you do when I do this?
Oh, she's just watching you.
Oh, yes.
So in this video, at the very end, there's a black sedan that turns right on Sahara. Is that you?
Yes.
So did you witness what we were looking at in that video? Was that within your field of vision?
Yes.
Can you describe what you saw from your perspective?
As the group of motorcycles approached Sahara and Jones, and the right turn to go eastbound on Sahara, vehicle in front of them come to a stop. As that vehicle turned onto Sahara going eastbound, the group of motorcycles approached the intersection, did not come to a stop, and continued eastbound on Sahara.
So, to be fair, the motorcyclist did stop behind the white vehicle, right?
Correct.
So what is it that leads you to say that their turn onto Sahara was a traffic violation?
Come up to the line and come to a stop, just because the vehicle in front of you stops doesn't give you permission to continue. It's an unsafe movement, just because the vehicle in front of you can turn right, doesn't mean you're able to turn right. Maybe there's a gap in traffic, that's why you have to come up and essentially clear the, make sure that's a safe turning movement.
Can you give a scenario why that maybe would not be a safe traffic maneuver?
Let's say if that vehicle could be the only vehicle that pulled out because there's a gap in traffic and the vehicles behind, say there's a short period now where they followed that white vehicle, they may not be able to be as safe as that vehicle, if that makes sense, because there could be other traffic coming, continuing down eastbound on Sahara.
So it kind of sounds like just because it's clear enough for the white vehicle to turn right doesn't mean that it's clear for everyone behind them.
Correct.
That's why you should stop.
Yes.
So did you consider that to be a dangerous maneuver?
Yes.
What kind of danger can that create?
And more danger for the subjects on the motorcycle. If they get hit by another vehicle, the vehicles are much safer than being hit on the motorcycle. So that, pedestrians, other people traveling eastbound on Sahara could cause quite a bit of danger to the public.
So you mentioned pedestrians. Can you give an example where this maneuver may endanger pedestrians?
If a pedestrian was maybe attempting to go westbound on Sahara, say, because they would more than likely have the pedestrian signal would be for that, go continue west or east on Sahara, and if you go past that white line, you may hit a pedestrian, you may not see them.
And is it fair to say that even though cars tend to be safer than motorcycles when it comes to a collision, causing a collision can create a danger for everyone involved, right?
Correct.
Including those around.
Yes.
And that's the reason why you should come to a complete stop at a stoplight.
Yes.
So in the video, you can see that you turned right onto Sahara to follow them. What happened next?
Continue to follow them down Sahara, eastbound.
And let me just go back just for a second. When they were turning right at Sahara, do you remember whether you saw blinkers on?
I don't know. I can't tell you, I'd have to review the footage again.
So what happened next when you were following them on eastbound on Sahara?
Continue to follow them. I had other detectives now following me as well, along with them.
And were these detectives, what unit were they with?
With me, part of Central Intelligence.
And so were they on during the SHIELD operation that night?
Correct.
Okay.
And detectives from narcotics as well.
And why was a detective from narcotics involved?
The operation, he was called to assist with Operation Shield.
So he was with your unit that night?
Yeah, he was just with us as a whole. We weren't, he essentially asked for help over the radio in conducting a traffic stop, and he came over to assist us.
Okay. So what happened, so you mentioned now you're going eastbound on Sahara and there were other detectives as well. What happened?
We began logging plates on the motorcycles over the radio.
Why was that?
Motorcycles tend to flee from officers, so if we can log the plate, it helps us articulate later, maybe if they do flee, for follow-up investigations.
And did you even report on the radio that you were logging those plates in case they decided to flee?
I believe so. I believe that was said over the radio.
Somebody said it.
Yeah.
But that was the intent behind logging their plates.
Correct.
And by logging the plates, what does that mean?
Just reading the plates to dispatch so that they're logged in the event.
What happened next?
I believe Detective King assisted us as we turned on to the 15 northbound from Sahara. And we determined that we were going to make a traffic stop.
And why did you decide that you were going to make a traffic stop?
We initially asked for black and whites to pull them over at an earlier time, but due to not having any black and whites, we utilized plain vehicles, and as we felt that was the safest place before they entered the 15.
So you're saying black and whites, does that mean marked patrol vehicles?
Yes, marked patrol vehicles.
And why did you make the decision that you were going to pull them over at all?
Oh, for the reckless driving.
And what was that? What was the reasoning behind that?
Due to the above average speed on Jones, the running the red light, and the signal of intent.
And in terms of the above, you said the above average speed on Jones. Is it possible that someone is traveling at an unsafe speed even if they're not greatly exceeding the speed limit?
Yeah, I mean, anything, I think, believe it, NRS states anything over the posted speed is illegal, so.
But what if the flow of traffic is slower than the speed limit?
And they're traveling at a higher rate of speed, yeah, it could be dangerous.
And did you determine that their driving at this point was dangerous?
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that you were, Detective King came to assist and that you were at Sahara and I-15.
Yes.
What happened next?
We initiated our emergency red and blue lights in our vehicles, and the vehicles began taking off at a higher rate of speed.
The bikes did?
Correct.
Taking off at a high rate of speed. Now, obviously, was this on the on-ramp?
Yes.
So obviously there is some expectation that you're going to go faster, right?
Yes.
So was there anything unusual about the way that they were accelerating?
Yeah, they began separating. They were no longer traveling in a pack. They began all going different directions.
Did it appear that they were accelerating more than would be necessary to merge onto I-15?
I couldn't say that they were accelerating more than what they'd be on the I-15, but they weren't abiding the law by pulling to the right either, like other vehicles were.
Because you activated your license sirens?
Correct.
So what did they do instead of pulling to the right?
They merged onto the 15, causing more unsafe, causing vehicles to not come to a stop, but hit their brakes, and I continued to follow one of the motorcycles.
Okay, so can you describe what was unsafe about that situation?
Just merging onto the 15 without checking your lane, causing people to slow down to avoid hitting them.
So what makes you say that they were merging onto I-15 without checking their lanes?
Just based on the speed. Cutting all the way over, the guy in motorcycle I followed had moved over multiple lanes, not just one or two. He'd almost moved all the way over to the very fast lane before I could, as I continued to follow.
Now, when he was moving over lanes, did he pause in one of the lanes before moving over to the next?
No, he just continued to cut over.
So is it your opinion that he couldn't have been checking before making those lane changes?
No, the traffic was pretty heavy on the 15 that night.
And so you mentioned that people were having to brake. What makes you say that?
Just to avoid them, along with, they're seeing red and blue lights as well. So they're, people tend to, when they see emergency lights, move over, try to avoid us, things like that.
So did you see vehicles needing to slow down in order to accommodate them?
Yes,
And was there any one of those, I think you mentioned roughly 7 bikers, were there any of them that actually did pull off to the right as you wanted to have happen because you activated your license sirens?
oh, initially, no.
Okay, so initially no, this is when what you described as them essentially scattering and merging onto I-15 occurred. So now you mentioned following one of them, what happened with that?
He pulled to the right.
To the right?
Yeah, ended up moving. I got behind him, and at this point I initiated my siren as well, and moved all the way over to the emergency lane.
So did you follow him first over to the left?
Yep.
And then you got behind him,
Continue to stay behind him.
and then he pulled over to the right?
Correct.
And did he end up stopping on the side of the road?
Yes.
Okay. And did you end up making contact with that individual?
Yes.
And did you see that individual here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And where is he or she seated?
It's a very left subject.
On the very left, can you describe something that he's wearing?
Has a silver necklace and a black shirt.
Did you have his name?
I believe his name is Robert.
Could that be Robert Millan?
Yes.
Let the record reflect that he's identified the defendant.
It will.
And what happened at that point?
Began doing our routine traffic stop, identifying the subject, placing the handcuffs, got him off the bike.
Now, up to this point, had there been any, were you under any specific orders or assignments related to the Mongols biker group?
No.
And what ended up happening during that stop?
Just did our investigation related to the traffic stop, identifying him, determining if he has registration, insurance, valid driver's license, all things you're supposed to have if you're driving on a public roadway.
And at the end of that interaction, did you determine that there was probable cause that a crime had been committed?
Yes,
And what was the crime that you determined had been committed?
reckless driving.
And was the defendant, Mr. Millan, eventually arrested on that charge?
Yes,
Everything that we talked about today, did it all occur within Clark County?
yes.
So you only followed one of those bikers and pulled him over, right?
Correct.
What became, at least from what you observed, what became of the other roughly 6?
I believe they were followed by other detectives to, I don't know the exact spot they stopped, but detectives continued to follow in plain vehicles. No emergency lights or anything.
And were you still receiving, I guess, radio communications about what was happening?
Yes,
Was it your understanding that that group had been stopped later?
yes.
State passes the witness.
All right, cross-examination?
When did you first call for the black and whites?
I couldn't tell you exactly when the black and whites were requested.
Isn't it true that it was immediately after you turned on eastbound Sahara?
We were working 2 different channels that night, so I couldn't tell you. We were working at a plain talk channel and a channel that was monitored by a dispatcher. And I say plain talk is in regular talk, so I can have a conversation without interrupting emergency radio traffic.
Okay, I'm going to show you Defense Exhibit C, which is the radio traffic for that event that was provided by LVMPD. Can we just stipulate this admission as well? Yeah, that's okay. Everybody's agreed, or both sides have agreed to stipulate the addition of Exhibit C.
All right, I'll be omitted.
I just have to figure out how to share this problem. Just one moment. Okay. I'll start playing, and what we're looking for is when exactly you called for black and white to assist you.
On this channel,
Yes, on this channel.
do you know what channel this is by chance?
This is what was provided. I asked for all radio traffic, and this is what provided, so,
Okay.
so I don't know anything beyond that. Can you hear that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, do you have it on mute right now? Do I need to unmute my audio? Let me try that. That does not work.
That does not work.
Well, this is audio, so let me not share it. Let's stop sharing. Just play it from mine and.
We're gonna be Sahara eastbound through the Dell, number 2 lane. Do you have a planer?
Okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning, just a moment. Okay, starting from the beginning.
We're gonna be Sahara eastbound through the Dell, number 2 lane. Do you have a planer? Texas 370, Victor 4.
Okay, I'm gonna
Does
stop
the
it at
video
7.
have that?
Let's just not do it through Zoom.
Yeah,
Just play it
let's
off the
just
computer.
play it off the.
I'm not playing it on Zoom. The problem is my microphone on Zoom still picks up and creates feedback.
Yeah,
We'll try now.
can you mute your microphone on Zoom?
I did. Okay, let's see. I think it's playing it flew through the Zoom and creating that feedback, so. All right, I'll play this again.
We're gonna be Sahara eastbound through the Dell, number 2 lane.
Okay, I stop it at 7 seconds. Did you hear that?
Yes,
Okay, and what did you hear?
switching over to this channel, either 313, and the location I was at,
Which was,
Sahara and Lindell.
okay, how far away from that is it from Sahara and Jones?
I don't know.
Okay. Had you at this time called for black and whites?
I might have requested them over the other channel, the plain talk channel, because there should be monitoring
Okay.
that channel. We just initiate the traffic stops on the channel with the dispatcher for safety reasons.
Okay, so here's my question. You said it was a saturation event, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so there were lots of officers around Sahara and Jones, correct?
Within the area command, and that area command is very large.
But you couldn't get a black and white to come and assist you very close to Sahara and Jones, correct?
Not when I requested them.
Okay. Would that be common for a saturation event, to not be able to get a black and white to immediately assist you when you call for help?
It also depends on what the other officers are doing, if they're on their own traffic stops. There could be many reasons why I didn't get assistance.
Okay. Now, you said that Detective Rodriguez told you that the defendants were driving recklessly, correct?
Speeding, he wasn't able to maintain surveillance.
Okay, but you just testified that he told you they were driving recklessly, correct?
I assumed reckless based on speeding.
So you automatically assume reckless based on speed?
Speeding
Okay. There you go.
and the fact that he wasn't able to stay with them.
Okay.
To maintain surveillance.
Okay. I'm going to show you, and this is just a document so I can share it. It's not there. I'll show you exhibit, Defense Exhibit A. Do you recognize this document?
I cannot read it.
Do parties object for me to just share this?
Please do.
I don't recognize this document.
How long have you worked for LVMPD?
10 years,
In the last 5 years, you haven't seen this document?
not to my recollection. No, not that I can specifically say I've absolutely seen this.
Who was the highest ranking officer on the event that evening?
I don't know.
Did someone order you to arrest Mr. Millan?
Yes,
Who was that?
a detective with Intel. Detective, I believe his last name is Johnston.
Johnston.
And for the record, I never spoke to him. That wasn't me who spoke with him.
Who told you that Detective Johnston ordered the arrest?
Detective on the other traffic stop. Detective Ogilvy.
Okay, so Detective Ogilvy told you that Detective Johnston, or is he a sergeant, is he a lieutenant, what is he?
He's a detective.
Okay, that Detective Johnston, no, Detective Ogilvy told you that Detective Johnston ordered the arrest.
Correct.
Okay. Do you know Sergeant Matthew Donaldson?
Yes,
Do you know if he was involved in any way in this incident?
I do not.
Okay.
I never observed him or spoke with him.
That evening, correct?
That evening.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna play the radio broadcast. That is Exhibit C at 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So I'll start at 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Yeah, for that should be everybody in the back. I don't think we're gonna be able to get a black and white resource fast enough. If we go ahead and line it up and they decide to take off, we'll have charges for them. And we can follow up with SWAT too.
Did you hear that?
Yes,
Do you recognize that voice?
multiple voices.
Okay. Who was the person that says, I don't think we're going to be able to get a black and white resource fast enough? If we go ahead and light them up and they decide to take off, we'll have charges for them. We can follow up with SWAT too. Who said that?
Sergeant Wall.
That was Sergeant Walt. And at that time, had you communicated anything to Sergeant Walt regarding what you saw?
Everything had been over the radio.
Oh, okay. So if we play,
And remember, there's 2 radio trackers, so there's 2 channels we're working on. Not everything is on that channel that you're listening to.
is the other channel recorded as well?
I don't know what channel we were on that night. It depends on what channel we were utilizing.
Okay.
Because
so-
not all LVMPD channels are recorded.
Okay, I'm wondering if there is a record of those conversations, because we subpoenaed all radio traffic from LVMPD and we don't have that.
I don't know what channels are or are not recorded.
What had you told Sergeant Walt at that time?
I believe Sergeant Walt was with us. He was following with us as well. He was conducting surveillance as well.
Okay. You said earlier that, that the motorcycles didn't stop for you, correct? When you lit up your lights?
Initiated by emergency lights?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Do they have an obligation to?
And yes, they should pull to the right. That's what the law states.
Okay, so NRS 484B550 is stop required upon signal of police officer. Are you familiar with that?
I couldn't verbatimly read you that NRS.
Okay, but are you familiar with it? I'm not asking you to recite it.
No, I don't know what the NRS states.
Okay. Let me just read to you, if I may, okay? Except as otherwise provided in this section, the driver of a motor vehicle on a highway or premises to which the public has access, who willfully fails or refuses to bring the vehicle to a stop, or who otherwise flees or attempts to elude police officer in a readily identifiable vehicle of any police department or regulatory agency, when given a signal to bring the vehicle to a stop, is guilty of a misdemeanor. Were you in a readily identifiable vehicle?
As in a marked patrol vehicle?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so then, if people are only required to stop for you by law, if you are in a readily
Your Honor, I
identifiable
object.
vehicle,
That's not what the law says that you just read. The law says that if you're in an identifiable vehicle, then you're guilty of a misdemeanor. It does not say that only those drivers need to stop. That's a blatant mistake. So I object to this question.
I'm gonna sustain.
I'm sorry,
I'm gonna sustain.
okay. Are you available of any other law that says that they have to stop?
That's not my problem.
The vehicle on the back, in the back of the pack stopped for you, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Are you aware that there have been both district court and municipal court cases that state, the judges have said, that if there's a pack of motorcycles, only the rear motorcycle has to stop when there's lights, because the other ones, it would not be reasonable for them to think they were the ones being pulled over.
I'm not aware.
Okay. If that in fact is true, then the other motorcycles wouldn't have done anything wrong, would they?
It's still a probable cause to stop the subject.
Okay.
I didn't charge them with fleeing,
Okay, but you said they were fleeing earlier.
but I didn't charge them with fleeing.
I know, but you testified that they were fleeing. That's what I'm dealing with right now.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Did you state in your declaration of arrest that Detective King put on his lights and sirens as well?
I think so, but that's what the report says.
Or is that true?
He definitely initiated his emergency lights, yes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit D, which is Detective King's body camera video. Now, let me try to share this and see what happens. I don't. Here, stop sharing this one. Would you read the emission of this body cam video as well?
It's King.
Yeah. Parties have stipulated to the emission of this exhibit, Your Honor.
It'll be a minute.
What letter is it?
This is D.
Did you make A or no?
No, not yet. I have to do that later. Okay, so I'm actually paused at the very beginning of this video. Now, do you know how body-worn camera works within Metro? Generally, are you familiar?
I guess that's a very open-ended question.
Okay. Does it, when you see body-worn camera video, do you generally hear the first 30 seconds of the video?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Isn't it true that if an officer initiates body-worn camera, it starts the audio when they initiate it, but it grabs the previous 30 seconds of video without audio?
I believe so.
Okay. Now, when I pause here, do you notice a motorcycle in the lower left-hand corner of Detective King's body cam video?
It's very hard to see.
Can you show him, please?
I can't make that out. Where your mouse is?
Yeah, where the mouse is pointing right now. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Do you see that motorcyclist?
I believe that's a motorcycle.
Okay, so I'm just gonna play for just a little bit. Okay. Now, I played for 4 seconds. In the first 3 seconds, could you then identify that as a motorcyclist?
No.
Okay. Did you see that person, I'll play it again for 3 seconds. Did you see that person using their blinker?
No.
Okay.
I can't. I mean, it's very hard to tell what.
I think it's because of the lag, Your Honor, if I may approach.
That's fine.
This first 3 seconds. Just one moment. It disconnected from the. When I moved it, it disconnected from the flash drive, so just quite some indulgence. Okay. I'm gonna play that first 3 seconds. All right, did you see that?
Go back one more time.
Sure. Did you see a blinker?
Yes,
Okay, so was that a motorcycle?
I believe so.
Okay, so that motorcycle used its blinker, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna keep playing for just another 10 seconds, and you tell me if you believe Detective King is using his lights at this time. Okay, I paused it at 12 seconds. Was Detective King using his patrol lights?
I can't speak for Detective King.
Okay, well, in a little bit, I believe he's going to, so you can see the difference. So I'll just press play at 12. Did you see that?
Yes, but I can't speak for Detective King's vehicle.
Okay, but you can see whether the lights are on at 18 seconds, correct?
His vehicle also might be equipped with other red and blues that may turn on with a different setting. So I can't speak for Detective King. I can see that, yes, there's lights there, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't lights initially.
Okay, and there were no lights for the previous 15 seconds, correct?
That you can see on body camera.
Okay, okay, thank you. So at least one of the motorcyclists was using their blinker while merging onto the I-15, correct?
I don't even know if that was one of our motorcycles. I couldn't tell. I couldn't see a license plate. I couldn't get a description for you.
Okay. Did the front of the pack, or do you have any evidence that the front of the pack even knew that anyone was attempting to stop them?
No.
Okay. Did someone say exactly that over the radio? That it's likely they did not know anybody was stopping them?
I'd have to review the footage.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the audio.
Let me do that. I'm going to bring up the radio again at 4:35 through 4:54. Come on. It's going to start at 4:33.
Yeah, we're following a group of Mongols. A couple of them took off, a couple stopped. We're getting off on Lake Mead from the 15 now. Looks like they're probably going to go eastbound.
They already attempted to stop them? All of them?
The first group might not have known that they were getting stopped, so we're going to try to initiate a stop on the first group.
Okay.
Do you represent, or do you recognize that voice?
I believe that's Detective Ogilvy.
Ogilvy, okay. And did Ogilvy say, quote, the first group might not have known they were being stopped?
From what his observation was, yes.
Okay, and you have no idea whether the other motorcyclists beyond Mr. Millan knew that anyone was trying to stop them?
I do not.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna bring back up the video that we just saw with Detective King from the beginning again, and I'll come back up. I want you to pay attention to all the cars that are in front of Detective King at this time. And tell me if the majority of them are using their brake lights. I'll start it at 0. It stopped again. Let me reload.
Something to unplug it here, just- Sorry.
No, it's fine, my stuff is good.
Okay. So I started at 0. Do you notice whether those cars are using their red lights?
I did not notice, cannot see.
Let's start again. And also, notice if Detective King also brakes heavily. Okay, I stopped it at 10 seconds. Did you see a lot of red lights from brakes?
I believe so. I can't tell if Detective King is stopping, but I can see brake lights and what appears in front of him.
Well, let me call your attention to maybe the jerking of the body cam to where he has to thrust forward. Suddenly, I'll play again from 0 to 10 again. Okay, I stopped at 6. Did you see that?
I see movement, but I can't say that's why he's moving.
Okay, but I stopped at 6 seconds. That's right when there was the movement, correct?
Yeah.
And the car in front of him, do they have their red lights on?
I believe so.
Okay, so isn't it possible that the sea of red brake lights was not because any motorcycles were merging, but because it was just simply heavy traffic on the I-15 between Sahara and Charleston at that time?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Isn't it possible that the sea of red lights, the brake lights, on the I-15 between Sahara and Charleston, isn't it possible that that was as a result of the congestion and the heavy traffic rather than motorcycles merging in front of people?
No, I observed people trying to merge on 15. Yes, there's flow of traffic, but I also observed motorcycles making vehicles hit their brakes, things like that. I can't say specifically in that body cam footage that they weren't hitting traffic or it wasn't the cause of the motorcycles.
You were pulling over defendant Millan, correct?
Correct.
If you were pulling him over, how could you see the rest of the motorcycles?
I was just following a wide view of not just focusing on one thing.
And at least one of the motorcycles used their turn signal, correct?
A motorcycle. I don't know if it's our motorcycle.
If one of the defendants testified that was his motorcycle, would you have any reason to believe that that was incorrect?
I couldn't tell you who it was.
Okay, we're going to go back to the radio. Exhibit C. And we're going to go to 252 through 301. I'll start at 250.
15 north. Hey guys, you got PC on here, good? Yeah. Got PC on all. Alright, let's drive it all down through Jones. Alright, I'm gonna take it.
Okay. So, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. So, previously, we listened to the radio traffic at 2:04, I believe. Oh, excuse me, 2:05, when Sergeant Walt said, I don't think we're going to be able to get a black and white resource fast enough, if we go ahead and light them up and they decide to take off, we'll have charges for them. We can follow up with SWAT 2. That was at 2:05, correct?
I couldn't tell you the timestamp, but yes, that's what.
Okay. This is after that at 2:52. Is this the first time well, strike that. Do you recognize the voice of the person asking if there's PC on these guys?
I believe that's Detective King.
Okay. If there was radio traffic talking about the PC, why would he be asking about the PC?
He may not have been monitoring the other channel. Or he may not have heard it.
Okay, but the PC you state was reckless driving through Jones, correct?
It said reckless, I'm not the one who said reckless driving on the radio, no.
Oh, that was not you?
No, I believe that was Sergeant Wall.
Okay, but he said reckless driving through Jones, correct?
Correct.
Okay. When you pulled over Mr. Millan, what did you tell him he was being pulled over for?
I don't recall. I couldn't tell you the exact conversation I had.
Was it speeding and flipping people off?
No.
Okay. Let's get Detective King's body cam. Excuse me, may I approach again?
Sure.
Okay. Let's start at 2:02. And as you're, well, first of all, did you handcuff Mr. Millan on his motorcycle?
Yes.
Why?
It's the unsafety of what was occurring, what we had observed. I didn't think he was gonna stop. All these things aligned to helping control the situation. I was initially by myself, just me and him, until Sergeant King noticed he was in front of the pack. Normally make stops behind each other. I was behind. King had to come to a stop and then reverse on the freeway to come assist me.
You handcuffed him after Sergeant King arrived, correct?
Initially, just to get him off the bike, move him over.
Okay, I'll go back earlier, because we're gonna start this at 1:27. Okay, so we stopped at 1:36. Is that you in the video?
Can you back it? Yes, that's me.
Okay, did you just approach Mr. Millan for the first time?
Yes, as I was waiting for Detective King to approach as well.
Okay, and he just simply put his hands up so that you could see that he didn't have anything on.
Yeah, and I asked him to.
Okay, then while Detective King was there, you handcuffed him, correct?
Correct.
Is that an ordinary part of traffic stops?
Depends on the traffic stop.
Okay.
Can be. Just it's a safety precaution for me. And
What did Mr. Millan do to indicate that you needed to handcuff him?
Your Honor, I'm gonna object. I don't know what the relevance is this to the reckless.
Oh, Your Honor, it's very relevant. If he'll disregard constitutional laws freely, he's certainly less credible.
Well, I might allow it.
one more time.
What did Mr. Millan do to warrant
The initial takeoff.
the initial?
I thought he was gonna flee,
But he didn't flee.
but he already showed his intent.
But he pulled over, correct?
After I followed him.
Okay. And you're in an unmarked car, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Are you aware that the Ninth Circuit, and even very recently in the Nevada District Court, federal court, they have affirmed that handcuffing a subject in a traffic stop is not normal?
No, I'm not aware.
Okay. Did you not receive any training to that effect?
I could have received the training.
all I started to say he's not aware.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay, stop at 2:13. Did you hear what you told Mr. Millan at that point?
I believe I said cutting people off. I never once observed Mr. Millan flip anybody off.
Okay, well, let's listen again. We'll start at 2:02.
I never observed, the only thing that ever made have been off is something fell off his bike when I was following him.
Okay,
But I don't recall saying flipping people off, because I never observed Mr. Millan flip people off. That
okay,
wouldn't be something that I can pull somebody over for.
okay. Well, the court can certainly look at the evidence. All right. Can a person commit civil traffic infractions and even multiple and have it still not be reckless driving?
No, I'm gonna object, that's a legal conclusion.
I'm gonna sustain.
Okay. Is it your understanding that a person can or cannot commit traffic infractions, including multiple traffic infractions, and it still not be reckless driving?
Renew my objection, he's not aware.
Yeah, I'm gonna sustain.
Okay. Let's go to, I'll use my exhibit. It's the same terrible as video, it's just on my computer. Exhibit E. Can we agree to admit this? Okay. The parties have stipulated to agree to admit Exhibit E.
It'll be omitted. Is it the exact same security footage?
It
as
is.
It's
the
an hour
state?
longer.
Okay.
It's an hour longer.
Yeah, it's just longer and I have to come to the same time period. Isn't it true that Mr. Millan specifically used his turn signal on Jones?
I couldn't tell you, I have to remember that.
Okay. I'm gonna start the video at 24:50 and the timestamp is 20:52:40.
I'll have to review some just as that.
Please. They're gonna approach in a few seconds. Okay, I stopped at 25:22, timestamp 20:53:12. Was Mr. Millan using his traffic signal?
I couldn't tell you if that was Mr. Millan.
Was the motorcycle to the rear using his traffic signal?
I believe that was a traffic signal.
Okay, so he was using his blinker.
I observed it, yes.
Okay, so statements that none of them were using their blinker is incorrect.
Correct.
Okay. Now, is that your black car?
Yes.
Okay. And you were immediately behind them as they pulled into Saharan Jones, correct?
Yes.
If they were going so fast and you were not able to pace them, as you testified earlier, how could you follow immediately behind them as they approached Saharan Jones?
I just continued to follow it. Just because average traffic can't follow.
And I think that also misstates the testimony. He said he's not allowed to paste them, not that he's not able to paste them.
Okay.
Cannot paste in a plain.
Okay, so, let me then pull up the declaration of arrest for Mr. Millan. Exhibit G, Mr. Millan's arrest documents as provided by the state. Can we agree to admit these as well?
Arrest documents?
Well, it's the temporary custody record and declaration of arrest.
I don't think any of that's admissible.
Okay.
So no, I object to it. It's admissible.
Okay. Can you review this declaration of arrest and tell me if it's accurate to what you filled out that day? Go ahead and take your time.
Your Honor, I think that's an appropriate use of time. I think if Mr. Stubbs has
Well-
questions, we can ask direct questions.
I don't think that that's appropriate. If you ask him a question and he says that he doesn't remember something, he can recall it with that declaration. However, declaration is inadmissible evidence, so just having him review it to review it, I think that's inappropriate.
Isn't it true that you state in your declaration of arrest that you were, quote, unable to pace the subjects as they drove at a high rate of speed on Jones? Isn't it true that you said that in your declaration of arrest?
Yes.
Okay, so you were unable to because they were going too fast, correct?
Because I wasn't focusing on speedometer, and I just was just pacing the subjects and following them.
But that's not what it says, is it?
Well, I have to pace the subject, you still have to follow the subject.
Yes, but you state that you were, quote, unable to pace the subjects as they drove at a high rate of speed on Jones. That was your statement, correct? Okay. If they were driving so fast that you were unable to pace them, how is it that you pulled up immediately behind them at Sahara and Jones?
Because I continued to follow
I'm going to show you security footage from the 7-Eleven at Sahara and Teddy. Is it okay if we admit that as well? Stipulate to it?
This is of the night of
Mhm.
20th. Yeah.
Okay. It's stipulated that that will be admitted as well.
That would be a minute.
G again, okay.
It's Exhibit F. No idea why it's taking so long. This again. This has an app attached to it from the 7-Eleven, so it loads its own app. Here it is.
Put your steps into that.
Okay. I'm going to move to about 2058. It's very hard to pinpoint, so I have to fast forward to it. Okay. I'm gonna actually back it up frame by frame and then play it. And I believe if you look here, you're going to see the groups of motorcycles passing the 7-Eleven at Sahara and Teddy. And I'll press play at timestamp 20:58:03. Did you see the motorcycles passing?
Sorry, a group of vehicles passed. Can you go back again?
Yeah, sure. You tell me, but I believe, and we can play it again, I believe that's your black sedan as well. Oh, excuse me, that one would be, I believe, you. You see that there? Okay, then I'll go back further. Now, I believe the motorcycles are behind this car, but I'll go back further. I believe there's more here. There. Would it help if I just simply go frame by frame?
I think you just did frame by frame.
Well, I did it in the rear. I went backwards. But did you see motorcycles passing by the 7-Eleven?
I see the one in the rear. I can't definitively say anything else.
Okay, but you saw the motorcycles, at least?
I saw one.
Okay.
You can play it frame by frame.
Let me just play it again at 58:04, and we'll see if you see the motorcycles. Okay, I paused it. Did you see the motorcycles?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you if they are going with the flow of traffic, and this time I'll even go frame by frame. So now we're going frame by frame, and you tell me if you, oh, excuse me, you tell me if you believe that the motorcycles are going the speed of traffic. Did you just see that part?
You go back.
Okay, let me go back. There's definitely a motorcycle there along with a sedan. Right here, I'm gonna move forward. You tell me if you believe that motorcycle is going the same speed as the sedan next to it. Was that motorcycle going the same speed as the sedan next to it?
It appeared to.
Okay. If we had an expert that can determine the speed of the motorcycles from that video, would it surprise you that the expert says that the motorcycles were traveling somewhere between 43 and 46 miles per hour?
If that's what the expert says.
Well, would that surprise you?
I don't know.
Do you have any reason to believe that that would not be correct?
No,
And the speed limit is 45 on that street, correct?
Where?
On Sahara,
Sahara and what?
all through Sahara.
Okay.
Is it 40?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. Now, you started to follow the motorcycles from Desert Inn and Jones, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Where were you located when you first came upon the motorcycles? Were you on Jones or a different road?
I believe I was on Jones.
Okay, so you didn't come onto Jones from a different road, you were just simply on Jones?
I couldn't recall where I was prior.
Oh, okay.
I was just traveling in the area.
Do you know how long the distance is from Desert Inn to Sahara on Jones?
1 mile.
Okay, good. So you're saying that all of this reckless driving that happened on Jones happened in that 1 mile stretch, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How heavy was traffic during that 1 mile stretch?
I don't recall how heavy traffic was.
Okay.
Wasn't stop and go.
Okay. Were the motorcycles traveling less than 5 miles per hour over the speed limit?
They were moving faster than the cars around.
Okay.
I didn't put a pace for a reason.
Okay, so if they were going, say, 10 miles per hour over the speed limit, would you have been able to make that determination?
I'm not an expert in how fast somebody's traveling, based on observation.
Okay. At Sahara and Jones, that terrible's video. Okay. We should be able to see the other cars that were on Jones between Desert Inn and Sahara by simply counting the cars that arrive at the light after the motorcycles and yourself arrive at the light, correct?
I'm confused by your question.
Okay, bear with me a little bit. If you and the motorcycles are traveling northbound from Desert Inn to Sahara on Jones, correct?
Yes.
And there's cars that are also traveling northbound Sahara and Jones, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Then, and if the motorcycles are traveling faster than those cars, when you and the motorcycles stop at Sahara and Jones, we will see those cars also approach afterwards and stop at Jones, correct?
It depends on the vehicle. There's many factors.
What factors?
Other people turning onto Jones. It doesn't, I guess I'm very confused on what you mean by we're gonna see those vehicles.
Okay, when the motorcycles changed lanes on Jones, can you describe that to me? What happened and what lanes they changed from?
It just, we're traveling as a group, as a pack, lined up. They all would move over as one, and then they would move to the next lane.
Okay, so they just simply moved from the left to the right,
Yeah,
over one
depend-
lane into the next lane?
Yeah, I didn't document what lane is in T1, T2, or T3.
Can you testify today at any specifics regarding how they changed lanes?
Yeah, without the signal of intent.
Okay,
That's what I put in the report.
okay, but any other factors, do you remember, can you testify to any other factors of changing lanes? The cars, if they affected another car, can you testify to anything else?
I just observed them traveling at a higher rate of speed, cutting in between traffic.
Okay. When you change lanes, are you always required to use a signal of intent?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be surprised if the statute and case law said that you do not always have to use a signal of intent?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be surprised to learn that the statute says that you only have to use a signal of intent if your changing lanes affects another vehicle?
And it stated that there was other traffic there.
Okay, but you just testified, you could not recall or testify as to whether these motorcycles changing lanes affected another vehicle, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Were you paying attention to the motorcycle's hands, the motorcyclist's hands, while they are changing lanes?
Yes.
Is it possible that some of the motorcyclists block your view of the motorcycles in the front?
Yeah.
Okay, so the motorcycles in the front could have used either hand signals or turned, and it's possible that you just simply did not see it, correct?
Correct. At the very front,
Okay.
I wouldn't have been able to observe that.
Okay, so
I would have
Except
seen
for
I
Mr.
would have-
Millan.
I would have seen a blinker, but I wouldn't have been able to, like, if he's gonna throw a hand signal out, that would have been very hard to tell because it's dark outside. there's other people in front of them. But a blinker I should be able to see.
Do you ride a motorcycle?
I have
Okay, on the road or dirt bikes?
dirt bikes.
Okay, have you ever rode a motorcycle on the road?
You know, I'm gonna object on relevance.
I'm laying a foundation.
Sustain.
Okay. Are you familiar with motorcycle safety?
That's a very wide.
Have you ever taken a motorcycle safety course?
No.
Okay. Would it surprise you if motorcycle safety courses regularly teach that using hand signals is safer than blinkers because it alerts drivers better?
Sure. I have never taken that course, so I wouldn't know what they teach.
Okay. The markings on the road at Sahara and Jones, at that intersection, were they blacked out from tire tracks?
I don't recall.
Okay. Let me show you again the Terribles video. Going to show you prior to them coming. And I pause it at 23:02 and it's at timestamp 20:50:52. If I could call your attention to this intersection. At this time, are there any cars in the right-hand turn lane?
No.
Okay. And the right-hand turn arrow, is that obstructed by blackness on top of it?
And I can see the arrow with a surveillance photo,
Okay. Can you see the entire arrow or
just based on angle. I don't know.
Okay.
That's up to observation and at the time.
up closer, especially in the dark, can you determine where the stop line is before the crosswalk in this surveillance view?
Not based on angle, no, you wouldn't be able to see that.
Okay. Is it also possible that that the otherwise light or white line is darkened by tire tracks to where it would make it very difficult to see?
There's always that possibility.
Okay. I want you to pay attention to the traffic going eastbound immediately before the motorcycles make their right turn. I'm actually going to move it forward just a little bit. Okay, I'm starting at 20:52:28.
I'm sorry.
They're just stopped at the light, that's all. Stop really quick. We're at 20:53:17 that I stopped it and I'm going to start playing. And I want you to pay attention to see if the right turn on eastbound Sahara from any of these motorcycles affected any other car that was traveling eastbound on Sahara. Okay, and they stopped it at 20:53:27. Was there any other car affected by their right-hand turn onto Sahara?
I couldn't tell you.
Did-
Based on surveillance footage, no, because I didn't see other vehicles, but I can't tell what's been affected or what hasn't.
Okay, but if there's no vehicles,
And you continue to play, maybe there'll be, is there other vehicles coming? Depending on their rate of speed, like, there's a lot of variables, that's a very, very open-ended question.
okay, up to this point at 20:53:27, were there any cars traveling eastbound on Sahara that were affected by the motorcyclist turning right on Sahara?
Not that I can tell.
Okay, did you immediately follow them?
Yes.
Okay. So, did you stop at the line?
Probably not.
Well, let's watch.
I know I did.
Okay, so you know you didn't.
Yeah, because I would continue to follow.
Was it safe for you to make that right-hand turn?
I wouldn't have made it if it wasn't safe.
Okay, so if you were behind them and it was completely safe for you to make the right-hand turn eastbound, isn't it fair to say that it was safe for them to make that right-hand turn eastbound on Sahara?
Safety matter is, they were supposed to come to a stop at a red light.
Okay, it's not the question. If you were behind them and you immediately followed them onto East Sahara and it was safe for you to turn eastbound on Sahara, isn't it logical to conclude that it was safe for the motorcyclist to make that right-hand turn eastbound on Sahara?
Sure.
Okay. When they turned on Sahara, how many times did they change lanes?
I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. Isn't it true that they were in the number 2 lane when they passed Sahara and Linda?
If that's what the radio traffic said, then yes. I don't recall it's
But you don't recall.
exact, if it's not documented, the exact specifics, I don't recall.
Isn't it true that they were in the left-hand lane for the remainder of the time all the way to the I-15?
From where?
From between Sahara and Lindell and Sahara and Decatur until the I-15?
I don't recall.
Okay. So you don't recall them changing lanes at all during that time?
I can't recall what lane they were in exactly. They changed lanes, but I can't recall that they're in T1, T2, or T3 during the remainder of that portion of Sahara.
Okay. Were you calling out when they were passing through intersections?
Depends on the intersection.
Um,
I believe there was multiple detectives on the radio.
Okay. Let me just simply play it for you. And I'm actually going to be playing you the radio and then showing you the CAD for the event, for when you say things on the radio. And I'm going to hand you a piece of paper that we will mark as an exhibit and give you a pen. There's another pen in there. Because as we verify some things, I'm going to ask you to simply write down locations and times. Plug this back in so it doesn't sleep.
How much time are you playing? Minutes, because my staff is gonna have to take lunch break.
I have this part to where it's going to, we're going directly to them. There's like 5 or 6 radio transmissions. Actually, right now is a very good time to stop if you'd like to stop, and then we can.
All right, we're gonna take a 30-minute break. Right, for being